How goes it, everybody? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday. Today's subject matter, it's going to be simple and straight to the point, the way I like it. We're going to be talking about how rejection is just a part of life's process, whether people want to believe it or not. We all go through ups and downs in life. We go through hard times, as they say. That is a part of growing up, right? Lots and lots of people, unfortunately, allow these hard times to deter them from accomplishing something, or at least, continue to put forth some sort of effort towards their dreams, goals, and aspirations. The article that I actually came across the other day talks about, how in today's job market, how the struggles of searching, trying to find the right job, et cetera, even find a job, period. The article stated that job searches in the past few months, looking for a job for a lot of people, is kind of similar to dating. And that's what I thought it was actually interesting when the article stated that. It's the young lady who was talking, being interviewed during the article, stated, you walk into these companies hoping that you will click, and even when that doesn't appear to happen, your feelings are still kind of injured, in a sense, hurt, when they don't, when the actual organizations don't try to call you back. The only difference is that after a bad date, you can still pay your car note, and I just thought that was funny because I'm like, yeah, that's true. You can pay your car note, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, et cetera, and so forth. It could be like a business when someone is trying to find their niche, because a lot of people have their ups and downs and they try to find their niche that works for them, the products they can actually sell, the services that they can actually provide. So in order for them to not only make a profit, but to help and change people's lives all at the same time, so meaning, where do they belong? How can they become successful in their businesses? The article stated, really captured how people truly feel when they are jobless and possibly have to move back with their parents. That happens a lot. That's happened within the last 15 years with a lot of people, especially the millennial generation. One of the upsides to being unemployed is that one has the opportunity to spend less money on food, commuting, etc. One of the downsides is definitely the stress of getting evicted, losing utility services, cars, etc. The article talked about how much, how millennials have less loyalty, and this is true. I've seen it myself. How millennials have less loyalty, and how they individually decided that they had to come to a point in their careers where they refused to settle for any position which their passion and creativity couldn't really be appreciated. And that's one thing to take into consideration. Problem is, a lot of times, people will take jobs because they need to pay their bills, they need to live, But then you have a lot of instances with people like, after a while, you just like, I'm tired of this job. This is not, the culture isn't for me. I'm tired of the community I'm living in. The culture isn't for me. But then I always say to those people, when that happens, because it can happen, and especially happen to a lot of people in our generations, because us being millennials having the opportunity and the pleasure of going through rough times, but having opportunities to make money outside of the conventional ways, legal ways, but still the quote unquote unconventional ways, by selling products online, selling services online, being able to work for an Amazon or Uber, Grubhub or DoorDash, something to that effect, a Lyft. Making money is unconventional ways to not only keep themselves up their heads above water, but in a lot of instances, just be able to finance their own dreams and goals and aspirations, because we all know that the days of working at one job for 40 to 50 years is dead, because things are just changing so fastly in a crazy place globally, everywhere, all over the world, not just the United States. So with that being said, a lot of people are more focused on chasing their passions, because they're like, hey, if I'm going to work hard at something, I want it to be something I'm passionate about. If I'm going to build a life in a community, I want it to be in a community I actually want to live in, not just because I have a good job in that community. A lot of times you can have the best job, but you cannot stand the place that you live in. Me being from the DMV area, I've seen that all the time. People come to the DMV and they love the pay, they love the benefits, but they can't stand the freaking area. So to me, the smart ones that are like, okay, well, how can I either get a job elsewhere to live the lifestyle I still want, or be able to make money outside of the conventional means by having some sort of passive income, so having a job can become an option. Talk about it all the time, and that's really my mantra. Make nothing wrong with having a job, but make having a job become an option, so that your boss doesn't dictate your future financially, in a sense, So that's just that's my little thing at the end of the day, because the article talked about not only about the passion, but it states, you know, and it ends at the end of the day, one should get to a point in their life where they refuse to settle. There's actually a guy named Clark Kegley. Check his YouTube page out. A lot of great information. Guy from Seattle. I think he just moved to Phoenix, Arizona. But his niche, his whole background on YouTube is known as Refuse to Settle. And he always starts off his video saying, "What's up, refusers?" You know, and I love that because it's like you should refuse to settle when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to a job, when it comes to a business, when it comes to anything. If you're going to work hard at something, you work. The rules of life to me is you work hard to survive in the beginning, and then you work hard to have a life that you don't have to take a vacation from. Period. Keep it simple. You know, that's just my personal opinion on that one. So, you know, one should refuse to settle at some point. You know, because if you do settle, eventually you're going to be like a volcano, and your anger and resentment is going to boil like lava, and eventually it's going to blow. How it's going to blow, who knows? But eventually it will. You're not going to be able to hold it in, and if you do, you're probably going to live a miserable life at the end of the day. You know, just to, you know, keep it real, to be honest with you. You know, never settle. And I have learned that it is very important to come to a crossroads when one is in their 20s and 30s. Heck, one can come to this conclusion even earlier than even so, or later in life. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, it's like, hey, you have to say to yourself, I refuse to settle. Okay, this is what, you know, this is the lifestyle I want to live. This is how I want to live it. Well, how am I going to do it? And am I going to do it, or am I just going to complain about it? Because that's what everybody loves to do, especially on social media. They love to complain about things, but they're not big on solutions, because a lot of times solutions take that crazy thing called hard work. And a lot of people don't want to put the work in because they're too busy being on Netflix and ESPN apps and et cetera and so forth. You know, it's all about priorities. You know, it's all about priorities, you know. And when you choose not to settle in life, and I'd always take the easy road, you not only let the world know that you are a force to be reckoned with, but you let the world know, you let the world know that the person within you will go beyond the call of duty in order to succeed at their dreams. And the person within the article went on interview after interview after interview and came close to obtaining a position with the company that she didn't want to work for. And that's the crazy thing. Was unemployed, went on interview after interview, in a tight spot, got a chance to get a job with an employer, and she didn't really even want the position. Because at the end of the day, she knew that she did not want the job because the company decided to go in another direction. And she looked at it as a sign. You know, long story short, it looks like she was going to get the job. She didn't get the job, but then she just took it as a sign. And sometimes you have to do that. Take signs in life. Look at certain things. Yes, it's best to stay the course a lot of times, but a lot of times you got to look in the mirror and say, okay, this is a sign to let me go in a different direction. I myself have had this sign, this epiphany in 2020. You know, I'm working in a particular industry, and I worked hard to get into this particular industry, but I said to myself, okay, this isn't really satisfying. This is keeping my head above water, which I'm happy with, but this is not satisfying me to what the kind of life I want to live, where I want to live, how I want to live, and what I'm really trying to do in my life. So I'm taking precautionary measures to ensure that the industry that I'm in now can become an option. Doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily leave it today or this year, no. But I'm physically working towards ensuring that I don't have to stay in this particular industry so I can have passive income, so having a job can become an option. I've worked hard enough doing this specific thing, but it's time for me to move on and move forward. And I really don't feel like wasting my time with people who are not ready to implement and do specific things, especially when it comes to real estate, especially when it comes to Carrot Bars International, buy and gold, affiliate, recommending people, getting referral bonuses and things of that nature, getting dividends off other people's gold, real estate investments, selling merchandise online, all that good stuff, because who you associate with is who you ultimately become. So if you're around people who are constantly complaining, you're going to be eventually that I call deep-seated evilness is going to seep into your blood line. It's going to seep into your mental. It's all my friend Ronald, he always talks about mindset is everything. Couldn't agree with him more. Okay, like matter of fact, when I'm done with this video, I'm doing two things: finish up my taxes, and I have a business meeting with a person who's a general contractor and a flipper in the real estate business. That's what I'm all about. I'm about doing business, and you should be around people who want to do business. The new saying is keep currency in your circle. And I don't want to just hashtag it on Facebook and on Instagram, etc. I wanted to implement currency in my circle, and that's what I'm doing today, and that's what I want to do tomorrow, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I would hope that you all out there want to do the same thing, because if you don't, you can end up in this person's position. I've been in this person's position. Don't want to go back. And I would imagine that most people that have been in this position or have never been in this position never want to be in this position or never want to go back to it. That's just keeping it real on that one. Let's just be honest with it, you know. So that's just how I look at it. That's why when I read this article, I was like, yeah, I can understand that. You know, I can understand that. Excuse me. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, she knew she didn't want the job and she didn't get the job. And that is something that we all have to understand in life. And it's something that I continue to learn every single day of my life. You know, every day is a learning experience. And I love that. I love the fact that I have, when I wake up, I'm just thankful to be alive. And then second, I'm just thankful that I have the opportunity to try something new and to learn something new and do something different all over again. You know, wake up to a new day, new journey, new possibilities. You know, we have to learn when to walk away from something and when something isn't for us anymore. Learn to know that. Growing up in the DMV area, which is the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia area, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of great people, but definitely a lot of people that are miserable, they're miserable because they have so they can have a particular status in life or get a certain retirement plan just so that they can have some sort of security in life. Damon Dash said, love him or hate him, he's one of the realest guys out there, okay? And Damon Dash stated, and I quote, that he's been around a bunch of millionaires and billionaires who are the most miserable individuals that you will meet on this planet, because they have not built a life that they love. They built a life around chasing money. You know, when I say keep currency in your circle and make money moves, you still want to make those kind of moves that lead to a life that leaves you happier. Money brings some security to you, but if you're not happy in life and excited about the life and the community and the people that you're around, then all the money in the world is just going to make you a miserable person. You know, it can buy things, it can buy security, but it really can't buy happiness unless that security brings joy to you. Those things will wither away, but that's the kind of security. If it brings joy to you, then great. And then when you have joy in life, you want to bring joy to others. You want to help others out. You know, give back. That's another thing. You know, I know this video is about rejection, but it's not only about that. It's about doing better in life. And then when you're doing better, you help others up by giving them a hand up and not a hand out. I couldn't agree more. You know, that's just keeping it real. And a lot of people in the DMV area are miserable because they want a specific status and title, but all the nice overpriced cars and houses in the world can't bring you true joy in this life. It just makes you look good. And as my mother would say, it makes you look house poor, because we got a lot of house poor people here. We got a lot of car poor people here, and I just laugh at them all at the same time. But that's another story for another day. You know, but then, you know, it's like I said, but you know, a lot of these people, they never find trying to be content and very satisfied with their lives. They don't work on that. You know, and the individual in the article that was talking, because she has a book out, her name is Kiki Palmer, who wrote the book, I Do Not Belong to You, stated, and I agree with this statement, that although the hardest moments in life may seem more painful than anything, those are the times that will teach you about what you are made of than anything else. Couldn't agree more with that. Luckily, with the help of her good support system, significant other, and 6 months of unemployment benefits, so she took advantage of it. And remember, a lot of people during the recession took advantage of it so that they could do something better economically, not just sit at home and watch TV or be on the internet. She said, I've been spared a little for a while, but even if those things were to happen, I'd still be okay, because I am so much more than my credit score, a mid-size sedan, or fancy title on a business card. Couldn't agree more with that. Do not let the size of your car or home make you who you are. Okay, if you have children, make that a part of who you are. If you're a loving person who gives back to people, make that a part of who you are. Okay, when you do great things, make that a part of who you are. Okay, the credit scores, televisions, it's all entertainment. You know, big houses, fancy cars, it's all entertainment. It's all minute stuff. And if you really want to get into the asset category, if it's not paying you a monthly fee on some sort and you're always paying for it, then it ain't a real asset in my personal opinion. You know, I leave it at that. Okay, and this is coming from somebody who drives an old car and is cool with not having a freaking car note, because I can put that money into other things, like, I don't know, stocks, bonds, and real estate, and buying merchandise so I can sell it to other people. buy gold. You know, things of that. It's a crazy concept, but those things matter more to me than looking fancy in a car. A car's job for me is to get to point A and point B. A lot of people make money off their cars, so you get kudos. But you know, the other people that think that they're somebody special, you know who I'm talking about. But you know, but at the end of the day, it's all good. You know, it's all good. And last but not least, you know, Keke Palmer stated that, I know that the first job layoff may not even be my last, but the difference is that the next time I know I'll get through it. And those of us that are lucky enough can always go home, which I'm learning isn't the worst place to be. To end this video, I always give credit to the immigrant community, no matter what part of the world they come from. They come from parts of Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Central South America, or even Europe, okay? They do group economics. Not only in good times, but definitely during bad times. We all go through different processes known as life lessons. And when you learn how to make money passively by selling specific products that can help people create a life that people do not have to always escape from. You know, that's the beauty of passive income. You know, and when you practice group economics, and it could be a form, it doesn't even have to be a form of everybody gets in on a business together, but it could be a form of everybody gets in on a savings plan together. It could be in the form of everybody gets into a form of an investment plan together, where they're buying specific amounts of real estate, they're buying specific amounts of stocks, they're buying specific amounts of bonds and gold, et cetera, and so forth. They join the Karatbars International team that I'm a part of. You know, it's the little things. Or they open up a beauty shop, a barber shop, a restaurant, you know, et cetera, and so forth. You know, they do these big or small things that can turn into something that could actually replace their monthly income from their job. You know, so hence it opens up options. The new word of 2020 needs to be options, because I think the problem with a lot of people is they get too comfortable and they don't really want to get too big on having options. But it's your personal choice. You know, it's your life at the end of the day. All I'm saying to people now, we're in the second month of this year. February is going to fly by. We already know. Where do you really see yourself at by this time in 2021? Do you see yourself just being normal and being basic? Or do you actually see yourself really trying to jump ahead by practicing group economics, by taking a little bit of strategic risk, by making some small sort of investments, and then moving forward? You got to ask yourself these specific questions, because, you know, I know it works for me, but I don't know what works for you. Only you do. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, definitely subscribe. Check out the online store. Click on the link when it comes to the thinking about joining the Karatbars family. Like I stated in my previous videos, look into YouTube, and there's plenty of videos and the website out there about the Karatbars International family. Let's make money together. Let's do business together so we can keep currency in our circle together. All right. Enjoy life. Appreciate being alive. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.